Good day to you all. Today's practical is tensile test. The most important material property is the strength of a material. It can be determined by using a very easy experiment called tensile test. In this test, sample of a material with known dimensions like length and cross-sectional area is placed between grips. Then begin to apply weight to the material gripped at both ends by an apparatus. Then, while adding weight, simultaneous change in length of the sample is measured until the part begins to stretch and finally breaks. Finally, the result of the test is plotted as a graph. Size of the material plays an important role in determining the amount of weight needed to stretch the material. Test samples are usually prepared according to an international testing standards to a specified size. Materials, performance and suitability for certain product can be determined during a tensile test with the help of load and change in the sample's dimension. Stress-strain curve is used to understand the properties of engineering materials. This graph is plotted for variety of engineering materials during tensile test. In tensile test, stress is calculated is load applied to a material divided by the cross-section area of the material. The strain is the deformation or displacement of material due to applied load and can be calculated as change in length divided by original length. In stress-strain graph, the stress is shown along in y-axis and strain is shown along in x-axis. As we load the testing object in tensile test, it begins to deform and stress continues to rise linearly up to a point A on this graph. At this point A, if we remove the applied load on the testing object, it will restore to its original shape without any deformation. In here, stress is directly proportional to the strain in between O to A region. After point A, stress is not in linear relations to strain. So, it's not proportional beyond point A. Stress at point A is known as proportional limit. Hooke's law is valid up to point A. Slope of the line OA represents Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity, and it can be calculated as stress divided by strain within proportional limit. With increase in stress beyond the proportional limit, strain being to increase more rapidly for each increment in stress. From point B to C, there is considerable increased strain without much increase in stress. This is because of plastic deformation in the metal, and this phenomenon is known as yielding. Point B, where the yielding begins, is known as the yield point, and corresponding stress value is known as yield strength of the material. Increase in stress is required to produce additional plastic deformation beyond point C. This phenomenon is known as strain hardening. The load eventually reaches to its maximum value. Corresponding stress at point D is ultimate strength or ultimate tensile strength. By the stretching, the testing bar beyond point D leads to decrease the cross-sectional area of the bar. This localized reduction in area is termed as necking. Due to reduction in cross-sectional area of bar, load-bearing capacity of bar reduces drastically and the curve starts dropping beyond the point D. Eventually, point E has reached to a testing bar has failed. The stress at this point is known as breaking strength of the material. Now let us look at the practical. Crosshead, collect nuts and load cells are the main parts in this machine. For manual controlling of the machine, green button is used to move the crosshead at selected speed. Red button is used to stop the crosshead. Compression or tension switch selects the compression or tensile direction. Compression means crossheads moves towards load cells. Tension means crossheads moves away from the load cell. Test speed. Change the moving speed of the crosshead. Jerk, press and hold to move the crosshead at maximum speed in selected direction. This is the test piece. As you can see, it consists of cylindrical test region. In order to insert the test piece, first we have to remove both collet nuts. There is a pair of collet inside each of the collet nut. Put one side of the sample end to the one pair of collets, then insert the collets into the nut. Mount the collet nut to the load cell side. Do the same to the other set of collet to the moving side of the machine. This is crosshead, collet nuts and load cells of the machine. First, to begin the practical, we have to switch on the machine. As you can see, Universal Testing Machine is connected to the control system through data cable. So this test can be controlled by selecting the software, and then we have to choose the port through which it is connected. So you can insert the diameter and gauge length here. This is the identical test piece as our workpiece. So I am going to measure the appropriate diameter and gauge length for this workpiece. Diameter can be measured by using the vernier caliper. So you can insert the value for the diameter, and at the same time we have to input the gauge length. In this process, the initial length remains as the gauge length. As you can see, our test tensile is selected, and finally we have to start the test. You can see the force versus displacement graph. And the stress versus strain graph. Finally, we have to press the stop and export the data. You can see the result for this appropriate test displayed in Excel form. Finally, remove the broken test piece and place it on the work table. Puts the fragments back together again with the help of the distance marks. The percentage elongation after fracture can be determined. This is the permanent strain after fracture. Percentage elongation after fracture depends on the length to diameter ratio by measuring the smallest diameter at the point of fracture. For the sake of joining the fragments, I have kept it like this, but you have to measure the actual gauge length as shown. This is the content of today's practical. Thank you very much.